Hello guys, I'm back. Okay, that made it too dark. Um and I have a really quick video that I wanted to share with you all. I was sitting down and I was writing, and I know I look a mess, but I was sitting down, I was writing about God's perfect timing in my journal right here. And you can see I was writing in pink. And I was writing, I'm halfway through my story that happened, and something was like, make a video. Just make a video. And I'm like, but I look a mess. But anyway, so I want to share this really quick video with you about God's perfect timing. Okay, so one day, maybe about two and a half weeks ago, I went to Popeyes to get my aunt and I some food. Just two dinners, that's it. So I sat in line, I ordered the food, I got the food, and the food was like $16, and I was like, dang, I wasn't trying to pay that much, but anyway. So I got the food, and I got to the window. The girl gave me the food. She gave me a bag. So as I was pulling out of line, I was still on the parking lot, but I had pulled out of line. I checked the bag because I'm like, this bag says mobile order, and I didn't have a mobile order. So I looked inside, and the bag had like 3 orders in it. It had like it had 3 different meals inside. So I said, okay, this is not my order. I looked at the receipt. I'm like, this is not my order. And I also know, because it was a receipt on the bag, and it was a receipt that she gave me. So I also noticed that she only charged me $8. She gave me the wrong order, and then she charged me for somebody else's order. So my original order was $16. She charged me $8. So I was like, I'm trying to be obedient to God. I'm trying to do the right thing. So I pull back around and I get back in line. And the line was long, y'all. It was long. I sat there for about 20 minutes in that line. But I got up to the window and I wanted to pull off. I ain't gonna even lie, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna do what's right. Did somebody food, And as I was sitting there in line, I thought to myself, the line was moving so slow, and usually Popeyes is pretty quick. And I thought to myself, okay, that's why they're moving slow, probably because she gave me the wrong order, and now they got the cook, So yeah, so I got to the window, and it was a different employee who opened the window, and I told her and said I got the wrong order. So I tried to give her back the bag, and she said, no, we can't take food back. I said, okay. And she said, what did you have? And I told her what I had, and they had my order sitting there by the window. So she gave me my food, and then I told her, I said, well, she charged me less than what my order was. Do you want me to pay the difference? She said, no, that's okay. That's fine. I'm thinking, okay. So I pull off, and I have all this extra food. Because I got the meals that I bought for me and my aunt. And then I had, like I told you, the big bag had like 3 meals in it. So I said, what am I going to do with all this extra food? Because I'm like, we not going to eat it. So at the time, I was on the phone with my best friend. And I just thought to myself, I said, I want to find a homeless person, or I want to find somebody who's walking, who may be in need, and give them this food, because it's nothing I can do with it. I'm not going to eat it. So I was talking to my friend, and where we live, there's not a huge homeless population. Like, you see a few people here and there standing with signs, but it's not a big homeless population where we live. So I was thinking, I'm like, okay, where can I find somebody? Like, what part of town can I go to where I may find somebody who may need some food? So she said, she was like, it be people walking on my side of town, which she lives like on the east side of town. So, so I drive to the east side. Now, mind you, I'm way on the other side of town. On my way to my best friend's side of town, I I passed by my aunt's street. The street that I'm going, I passed by it. And I'm going to the east side of town. And I'm just like, Lord, show me somebody. Lord, show me somebody who needs some food. So I had gotten to the east side of town, and I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, Lord, show me somebody, Lord, show me somebody that needs some food. And my best friend was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get off the phone with you so that you can hear God, so that you can do what you need to do. I said, okay. So we got off the phone. I pulled into like a Dollar General because I saw this man who was in like a motorized scooter, out at the dollar store by himself. And he just had on socks. He didn't have any shoes, but he was in a motor, so his feet wasn't touching the ground. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I don't want to offend anybody, because just because you see somebody walking doesn't mean that they're homeless or poor. I mean, they, so I'm like, I don't want to offend anybody by saying, hey, you need some food just because you walking. So I'm like, Lord, give me a sign. If this is the man, give me the sign. Give me a sign. So the man goes up to somebody's car and is talking to them. And I'm like, okay. So I sit at the Dollar General for a second. And I'm just like, Lord, give me a sign. Give me a sign. I don't hear nothing. So I leave and I keep going further down the street. So I go further and I get to, I'm looking, like when I tell y'all I was on the road and I'm looking to try to find somebody walking, because like I said, I mean, we don't have like a homeless population like that here. So I'm looking, I don't see nobody. So I go sit at the Dollar Tree, the parking lot of the Dollar Tree. So I see this man walking, going towards the Dollar Tree in this parking lot. It's like a little shopping center. And I was driving and he like looked like, I guess he thought I was driving behind him. I don't know. I wasn't trying to scare nobody. And I said, okay, Lord, if he goes in this store, then maybe he's not the person that I need to get a food to. But if he keep walking past the store, maybe he is. So he goes in the store. So I said, okay. So I say, okay, Lord, I'm going to go back the other way to the Dollar General. And if I see that man on the scooter again, I'm going to give him the food. Because maybe that means he the person. So as I'm driving down the road, it's like a freeway, kind of. As I'm driving down the road, I see another man walking. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe this is the person. I see another man walking. I'm like, maybe he's the person. So I pass him. Now, mind you, he's on the opposite side of the street from me. So I would have had to stop, turn around to go meet him. He's on the opposite side of the street from me. So I drive by and I see him opening a wallet. Like, and it's not to, I wasn't trying to like prejudge anybody. Like, oh, well, you don't look like you need no food. But I don't know. So I get back to that dollar store, and the man in the scooter is gone. I don't see him anywhere. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe he was not the person. So when I tell y'all, I was literally like in the car asking, like, Lord, which way you want me to turn? You want me to go left or right, straight? Just direct me. So I went down a street here called Main Street, where usually it be some people sometimes walking down Main Street. So I said maybe I'll find somebody over here. So I see this man at this store, this gas station, sitting outside the store, just sitting there. And I said, okay, well, maybe he's the person. I said, so I had already passed the gas station. So I said, well, I'm going to turn around. And if he's still sitting out here when I get here, maybe he's the person. Yeah. Why do I get to the gas station and this man is going inside? He like taking some money out of his pocket. I don't know, but he going inside. So I said, okay. So I'm like, okay, Lord, which way you want me to turn? Which way you want me to go? Just direct me. So I'm driving. Yeah, I'm driving. So I see one more woman walking. And again, she's on the opposite side of the street from me. So I would have had to turn around to meet her. And I look at her and I don't know. I was just like, I don't think she's a person. I don't know. So I said, okay. So at this point, I'm almost back at my aunt's house. I'm like, I don't know where else to go. I'm like, Lord, just tell me where to turn. So I go down the street to my aunt's house, and the way that I went to her house, now that I'm thinking, it's usually not a way that I would go, because it's another way I can take. But I went that way, and I'm still looking across the streets, trying to see if I see somebody else. And I started to get a little discouraged a little bit, because I'm like, Lord, I got all this food. I've seen some people, and I'm wondering, I'm like, okay, were those the people that I need to get food to? And I missed them, like. So I'm sitting at this light. I'm at the light. There's like a freeway, and then I have to cross this freeway to get to my aunt's street. So as I'm sitting at the light is red. I see this man, and he looked like he was kind of staggering when he was walking. I see him cross the street. Now, mind you, I'm at the lights. There's a freeway, and then when you cross the freeway, you go straight to my aunt's street. I'm looking at this man across the freeway. And as my light is red, listen now, as my light is red, he's walking across the street. So where he's walking, we would be on the same side of the street, if that makes sense. So I'm like, Lord, is this the man? Is this the man? And I was like, okay, because it was a house right there. So I'm like, well, if he going to this house, then maybe he not the man. But if he keep walking past the house, then this is the man. He kept walking past the house. So my light turns red. I cross the street. I said, I'm gonna get this food to this man. So I slow the car down. I roll the window down. I'm like, hi, do you need some food? And he's like, yes, ma'am. And I can tell he was kind of intoxicated. He was an older man. He was kind of staggering when he walked. He was like, yes, ma'am. And so I give him the food. I give him the whole bag. It's 3 dinners in the bag. I give him the whole bag. And he's like, thank you. God bless you. And that was it. And I feel so happy. But I said all that to say, remember at the beginning of the story, I told you as I was leaving Popeyes, I passed my aunt's street, that same street. I passed it and went way to the other side of town. And this didn't click in my head until the next day. It clicked in my head that I went ways, and I wasn't mad, but I went way to the other side of town, and I found somebody on the same street that I was going to originally. But had I not went way across town, spent all that time across town, and came back on my aunt's side of town at the exact minute that I did, I would not have crossed paths with that man. Y'all, I promise you, the way it happened, had my light not been red at the time that it was red, I would have drove right past. We would not have crossed paths. Had the whole situation not transpired the way it transpired, I would not have ran across that man. And he had to have been somebody who really needed some food. I would not have. And I thought the next day, I was talking to my best friend. I'm like, God's timing, God's perfect timing. You may have to go all the way around town. You may have to, but his timing is perfect. Perfect. And I have another story about God's timing, but I don't want to be on here very long, so I'll tell that story another day. But I was just amazed, and as I was telling my friend, she was amazed, and I'm just like, God's timing is perfect, like perfect. Because had I not went way across town, had my light not been red, had he not been walking across this street at the very moment that he was, we would not have crossed paths, y'all. I'm telling you. So, you have to trust God's timing. And I believe now, years ago, I used to believe in, oh, that was a coincidence, or oh, that was luck, or no. When you believe in God, there is no such thing as a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a purpose. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a purpose. Things happen when they're supposed to. It's not a coincidence. It's not. No. Things happen the way they're supposed to, when they're supposed to, because God's timing is perfect. So, and I knew, I don't know if I said this earlier, but I said, God wouldn't allow me to get all this food if it wasn't for a reason. That was not a coincidence. I know. And I hope don't nobody think I'm being too deep, but we gotta realize it was not a coincidence that my order was messed up. And then my original order was there waiting on me at the window. So I still got to eat the food that I ordered. But I'm like, there's a reason why God allowed me to get all this food. Because there was somebody out there that needed it. And I met that man at the perfect time. So that's the end of my story, y'all. Trust God's timing. Pay attention. Like I said, nothing happens by coincidence. Everything happens for a purpose and a plan. God has a purpose and he has a plan in everything that happens. Sometimes things happen to us so that we can bless other people. People don't realize, people always think that, and it's a little off topic, but people always think that, oh, I need a blessing. Well, sometimes God wants you to be a blessing to somebody else. Sometimes things happen to you so that you can be a blessing to somebody else. I had to get that food, go back in line, sit in line for like 20 minutes, and I wanted to pull out a line. I ain't gonna even lie, but I was like, no, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to be obedient. I'm trying to be a good person in the sight of the Lord, so I'm gonna do what's right. So sometimes God needs you to be a blessing to other people. So be obedient, do the right thing, trust God's timing, trust God's plan, and be blessed. So, bye.